Super Rugby Power Rankings for round number 5, folks. How are the teams stacking up on form compared to the table? We'll go through them from bottom to top. You guys can let us know your thoughts. The bottom kind of matches the table. Moana Pacifica, 11th on the table, 11th on the Power Rankings. They opened the season with a cracking win over in Fiji and then have not tasted victory since. It is 4 losses on the bounce for Moana. Most recent one at Eden Park got pretty well beaten by the Blues, so it's a 1-4 record. Bottom of the Power Rankings, bottom of the table. Only one spot above them is the Force, the same record. 1 win, 4 losses. Their most recent win is slightly more recent than Moana, and it was over Moana. So I guess it kind of makes sense that they are above Moana at the moment. They've looked all right, the Force, in their games. I don't think they've been terrible. Like, they could have very well gotten a losing bonus point against the Hurricanes, but not quite to be. But yeah, I don't think it's all doom and gloom for the Force fans just yet. And then this one does differ from the table. The Highlanders, I've got down 1 spot with their most recent loss. They are 7th on the table. Their record is still a -1 with 2 wins and 3 losses. They lost the rematch against the Crusaders. There's certainly no shame in that one. They were in that game for a long time. But yeah, it's just a negative record for them at the minute, sadly. Then these guys who've had a bit of a fall from grace, the Tars, have also got down a spot with their most recent loss to the Reds. I know there was a bit of controversy in that one. At the end, it seemed like a pretty cracking game from what limited amount I saw of it, though. But yeah, the Waratahs have gone from 2 wins in a row to 2 losses in a row. So their record has evened out. They could use a win. They are 6th on the table, but recent form would suggest they need a win. Then we got the Drua, who did manage to get another win. So happy days from the Drua. Their record is now 2 wins and 2 losses. So beating the Brumbies at home. They've beaten the Hurricanes at home. They're taking some pretty big scalps at home is, I guess, the key point. They're at home in the next round as well. It's on the road. Just picking up a win anywhere, which I think could be kind of season-defining for the Drua. But they certainly seem a lot better now than they did in the opening week. So Power Rankings has got them a little bit higher than on the actual table. Then there's maybe a little bit of a controversial one because they have plummeted 5 spots. The Brumbies. They've gone from being undefeated 3-0 to dropping 2 matches on the bounce, including against the Drua, which means, because the Drua, when I did the calculations, were a lower ranked team, like a much lower ranked team. So in theory, the Brumbies should be winning that one, so they've been kind of punished a little bit more heavily. The recent record is just 2 losses in a row, which most of the teams above them on the Power Rankings don't have. So it does seem like a little bit of a harsh drop. They're 3rd on the table, 6th on the Power Rankings. 2 losses in a row. What can I say? They also need a win. They got the Chiefs coming to town next. Then the Crusaders, who did manage to get a win over the Highlanders. The Crusaders are up 1 spot with that win. I don't think it raises too many eyebrows, but it was certainly a much needed win for the Crusaders because at that point they'd only had the 1 win, so their record is still negative. It is still the same as the Highlanders, 2-3. Remember, I've carried over a little bit of the form from last year, so as reigning champions, they've given a little bit of an extra boost on the Power Rankings, but yeah, Crusaders are still a bit of an unknown quantity. Then, again, it's a little bit of a different one from the actual table. The Blues, my Blues, they're 2nd on the table, but only 4th in the Power Rankings. How does that work? The record's 3-2, which is a pretty good record, but of those 3 wins, you've got the Force, and you've got Moana Pacifica. So they've beaten 2 of the teams which they should be beating. So it's hard to give them as much credit for those wins as if they'd been beating teams towards the top of the table. That's the way I calculate the Power Rankings. Who are you beating? Are you beating them home or away? That kind of thing. So maybe a little bit less credit given to the Blues for that one, but they are still up 1 spot into the top row. Then the Chiefs, who are down 1 on the bye. Maybe that's unfair, but the bye will even out as the season progresses. Everyone will get the bye, so everyone will score 0 for that bye round. They are still 3-1, 4th on the table. Then the Reds, they are well higher on my Power Rankings than they are on the actual table. The table's got them, what, 5th? But 3-1. They've gone loss, bye, win, win, win. So 3 wins in a row, including that good scalp away from home against the, at the time, undefeated Brumbies. So there's good reason to be optimistic for the Reds. They're up 2 spots. Number 1 this week goes to the Canes. They are top of Super Rugby. They are top of my power rankings. They've also got a 3-1 record. They got a recent win over the Force, which wasn't maybe as emphatic as it was predicted to be over in Napier, but it was still a win nonetheless. Isaiah Walker-Leawere. That guy's... You feel like he's going to cost you at least one dumb penalty, or in this case, card, pretty much every game. But anyway, you guys let us know your thoughts. How fair or not do you reckon the rankings are? Who is overly inflated? Who is being a bit underestimated? Subscribe to the channel, folks. More Super Rugby chat. And I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.